Hi everyone, my name is Nicholas Aida. I'm a first year student at Bloomsburg University majoring in business administration with a concentration in marketing. I'm doing a presentation for my international relations class on a topic we had to choose based off our personal interests and majors. I chose this topic because I have a strong interest in real estate and how global investment affects local housing markets. For this presentation, I'll be discussing foreign direct investment in housing markets, a topic that's relevant to economics, politics, and international relations. It's an important global issue today, especially as housing affordability becomes a major concern worldwide. What is FDI in housing? Foreign direct investment, or FDI, typically refers to companies or individuals from one country making long term investments in another country. In the context of housing, FDI means foreign individuals, businesses, private equity groups, or even government run investment funds buying residential properties abroad. These purchases can range from a single condo to an entire apartment buildings. As global wealth has increased, housing has become a preferred investment because it's seen as a stable and low risk compared to more volatile asset classes like stocks or cryptocurrency. Why housing attracts foreign investors? Housing attracts foreign investors for several reasons. Real estate in global cities such as New York, Vancouver, London, and Sydney is viewed as safe, profitable, and relatively secure, even during economic downturns. Many investors buy property to protect wealth from unstable economics or weak currencies back home. Others buy homes to support children studying abroad or simply to diversify their financial portfolios because of these factors. Homes in many countries are no longer just a place to live, they are becoming more global investment tools. There are some positive impacts of FDI in housing markets. It injects new capital into local economies and can help stimulate construction, development, and job growth. Governments also benefit through increased property taxes and transaction fees in some cases. FDI can help revitalize declining neighborhoods by encouraging new development and raising property values. These economic contributions are part of why some policymakers remain supportive of international real estate investment. FDI also has some significant negative impacts, especially when foreign buyers compete with residents for limited housing supply. One major issue is affordability. Foreign investment often drives up home prices, making it harder for average households to enter the market. In cities with high levels of foreign ownership, many properties remain vacant because they are treated as investment assets rather than homes. These ghost neighborhoods contribute to growing sense of inequality and spark political backlash against foreign buyers, globalization, and even immigration. A main example of these issues come from Canada, particularly in Vancouver and Toronto. Both cities experienced rapid housing price increases that were linked partly to foreign investment, especially from China. Residents struggled with affordability, which led the government to act. Canada introduced several policies, including a 15 to 20% foreign buyer tax, a speculation and vacancy tax, and eventually a temporary ban on most foreign home purchases. These measures show how public pressure can influence government policy when houses become a national concern. Another example involves Chinese investment in the U.S. housing markets. For years, Chinese buyers have been among the top foreign purchases of American residential property, especially in states like California, New York, Florida, and Texas. Investors are often motivated by currency stability, education opportunities, and long term financial security. However, as political tensions between the US and China have increased, foreign land ownership can become a national security issue. Several states have proposed or passed restrictions on land purchases by foreign nationals, showing how a housing trend can quickly become a matter of international relations. FDI in housing is directly connected to international relations for several reasons. First, it reflects globalization, which capital moves freely across borders and domestic markets become tied to global wealth. Second, it creates interdependence between countries where the economic condition in one nation can affect housing prices in another. Third, it arises national security concerns when foreign buyers purchase land near military bases or strategic areas. And finally, it influences domestic politics because housing affordability affects public opinion, elections, and government decision making. Many governments across the world have responded differently to the rise in foreign housing investments. Some, like New Zealand and Canada, have chosen to ban or tightly restrict foreign home purchases. Others have introduced foreign buyer taxes, vacancy taxes, or many transparent reporting requirements. These policies aim to balance the economic benefits of foreign investment with the housing needs of residents. The differences in approach show how each country prioritizes sovereignty, economic growth, and social stability. The debate around FDI and housing centers on two main viewpoints. Supporters argue that foreign investment stimulates the economy, strengthens international financial ties, and helps fund development. They believe it brings jobs, tax revenue, and long term growth, but critics argue that treating housing as a global investment asset harms local communities by raising prices and reducing supply. They believe homes should primarily serve residents rather than international investors. These conflicting views create a major policy challenge for governments. Looking ahead at future trends, most experts predict that restrictions on foreign housing investments will continue to increase. As housing affordability becomes a top political issue worldwide, governments will likely implement stricter controls to protect local buyers. As at the same time, global investors will continue to look for opportunities abroad, especially as technology makes international real estate transactions easier than ever. This tension between market demand and government regulation will shape the future of global housing markets. To conclude, foreign direct investment in housing markets is a significant global trend with major implications for economics, politics, and international relations. While foreign investment can boost economies and encourage development, it can also create affordability challenges, political tensions, and national security concerns. Understanding how FDI affects housing helps us better understand the global economy and the challenges governments face in protecting both local communities and international relations. Thank you for listening.